Kathy, and then the other lady's name is no. Don't say it. Second, I watched Blood Pressure. Kathy, and then Marvell.
Mm-hmm.
Truesdale.
That's correct.
Thank
Ready?
you.
Oh, okay. We didn't know. All right. Well, welcome to another episode of Real Estate Talk with Lisa. So glad that you're joining us. As we announced last week, this episode is called Rescue Resources. And I want to introduce my co-host today, Miss Reba Burris Barnes, Reba Associates International, the publicist for our show, and for many great people in our community. And Reba, thank you so much for joining us today.
Proud to be here.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
very much. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So we're going to jump right in. I'm going to tell you briefly who we are, and then we're going to tell you a little bit more about us after we deal with our first guest, which I think you're going to be delighted to meet.
I think so.
Yes. So our show is Real Estate Talk with Lisa. I'm your host, Lisa Jeffery. I'm a local realtor here in the DMV. And the motto for our show is opening the door with keys of independence. And of course, to have independent thought,
Yes.
good, beneficial independent thought, you need to have some great information to base your thoughts on. And so that's what our purpose is here at the show. We look to educate, empower, and motivate you to some positive action to reach your goals. We feel like that preparation and education plus motivation equals your new home, equals your new investment property, equals you being able to be a more productive member in your community because you know what's going on. So we're going to slide right into our first guest, and our first guest is Miss Kathy Hines.
Kathy Hines,
and we
that's
talked
right.
about her on our little short set last week. Kathy is the CEO of Educare Resources, and we were talking about when you find yourself in a housing bind and you're not sure, you just need maybe some short-term housing.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a fire, maybe it was an eviction, maybe it was some type of life event that put you at a disadvantage. Who can you call? So we're going to bring Kathy on right now, and she's going to share one of her solutions that can help rescue you out of your situation. Good afternoon, Kathy. How are you?
Hi, Miss Lisa. I am good. How about yourself?
Good. You're here with myself and Miss Reba Burris Barnes, my co-host for today, and we're glad to have you on the show with us.
Oh, thank you. It's good being here. Thank you.
Yes, I was just sharing with the audience. I told them we were going to dive right in, and I was sharing with them how your organization actually provides a rescue solution for people that from a life event or some other type of unfortunate circumstances find themselves in need of housing, maybe for a short term and at a price that they can manage. Is that correct?
That is totally correct. Yes. Yes.
Well, share with the audience, if you would, who you are, and then a little bit about your organization.
Sure. I'm Kathleen Hines, and I'm President and CEO of Educare Resource Center. And what we do, we provide temporary housing and supportive services to underserved populations, and that can be everyday working class individuals, veterans, persons with disabilities, and active seniors.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. And, I met Kathy, and that's one thing I like about this show, right, Reba? We had another guest on, Dr. James Dula, retired U.S. Air Force Major. And when we were doing our Black History Month events with Asala, and through our dialogue with him, we found out that Kathy was an associate of his, and she had this enterprise which directly impacts the mission that we have, because the show focuses on real estate, but it also focuses on housing issues, and it focuses on community development, which is what you provide. Now, Kathy, when you're providing that housing, and we have a house on the screen now. If you look at our screen behind us, you'll see one of the homes that Kathy's organization has that provides housing. And I believe you said you had a townhouse as well. Is that correct?
Yes, located in Oxon Hill. Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. And this home, I believe, is located in Fort Washington, correct?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Now, I mentioned before we brought you on the term shared housing. Could you share a little bit with the audience about what that means?
Yes. Shared housing or home share is what I call it. Basically, it's just another term used when we're talking about transitional short term, whereby you have a furnished private room, utilities included, Wi-Fi and cable that is all included in the price that you pay. And we try to keep it affordable to every individual and their needs.
Excellent.
So, yes.
Excellent. And I know just since I met Kathy, just to show how real this is, because as a realtor, what happens sometimes is all of your friends, if they have somebody that has a housing need and they know that you're proficient at what you do, they'll call you and they say, hey, I have somebody that's going through this situation or that situation, and sometimes as a realtor, we're not able to help that particular individual in that type of situation. And I was unaware that this resource was there. But I don't know if you guys heard what she said. She said a furnished room and obviously a beautiful home, Wi-Fi and utilities included at a workable price. Now, that's something you don't find everywhere. And how long are the leases for, Kathy? Do they have to sign off a arm and a leg and all their future Social Security and everything?
No, what it is, like I said, we try to make it affordable.
Yes.
It is criteria to being there, and of course that means, you have to be 18 and older to qualify. There is a intake process and application process that doesn't really take very long. But once that's approved, then of course 3, 6, and 12-month leases is what you have to choose from. And we always begin with a 3-month lease just to see if it's a good fit and see if it's something that person likes, and that can always extend it to a 6-month or up to a year.
Okay, excellent.
So
excellent.
Kathy, when you have the information for the 3, 6, and 12 months period, what is going to have the person that's going to be in the house? How many people are in the house at one given time?
Up to 5, ma'am.
Up to five.
Okay.
And it is co-op, so it can be female or male, and we have accommodations for both.
Any children there too or not?
Now, with the other home over in Oxon Hill, which we call Peace of Mind, we are beginning to take small families. But this particular location, the Fort Washington location, is just adults.
Okay.
Adults only. Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. I like that name, Peace of Mind.
For the whole family.
Because, when you're looking to be rescued from your situation, that's the one thing most people don't have is peace of mind.
Exactly.
And so, I'm thinking about that scripture where, it talks about calling forth those things that be not as though they are. So when you're coming into a place out of, a crisis type situation that's a little hectic and draining on you, and you're entering to a home that's entitled Peace of Mind, that already sets the framework for where you're going, I think.
That's right. And when you fill out the paperwork, it does have a portion that actually says what you want to accomplish while you're there, and we can help you get to that point. If we can't, we always have resources that can help in that area, whatever area that may be.
Excellent.
But there's another piece to this. It's not just the housing, but we do have the supportive services, and we do have an Educare Resource Center where job search, resume preparation, and all of that is at that location in Clinton as well.
Do you have a person that could be called a social worker there as well?
Yes, there will be a receptionist there as well as someone there to help with the resume preparation and that kind of thing. So we're in the training stages of providing that program service, the training, workshops, and things of that nature. We're actually literally in the process of doing that as we speak.
Excellent, excellent. And for some of my other realtor professionals that are tuning into this show, I know I've spoken with some of you in different arenas, and you've expressed a desire to have homes that provide similar type services. So maybe reaching out to Kathy and seeing if there's a type of fit there or a collaboration that could take place would be good. And also, if you know people that provide the type of services that could enhance or expand the program that she's building on, would you like them to reach out to you with regards to that?
Absolutely, that would be only a blessing. I mean, we do need to collaborate. There's a lot of overlap, and I think the key is to collaborate with others that are doing similar things and are like-minded, and so we can pull together and, provide the services, let it be wraparound or otherwise. So I think that's great. Of course, that'll be awesome. Yes.
Excellent, excellent. Because I know in some of my research in preparation for the show, I don't remember Maryland's exact slot, like in the area of foreclosure, but I think we're looking at, we're in the top 5,
right?
And and it's also, Maryland has also been challenged with having affordable housing and those types of issues. And I know more is trying to be done in this state to solve that problem. But as we've seen from our government gridlock, and even within our own state legislatures, government is not always the most effective way to solve the problem. And
absolutely. And I also say that government can't do it all. And that's
right.
What's so important about nonprofits coming together and doing what they are doing, but we can do it in a better way because we're in the trenches.
Exactly.
We're the ones that see them sleeping in their cars and sleeping other dangerous places. So, we see what really goes on, and hopefully we're in a position with the necessary funding to be able to help that situation. So
Kathy, when you do your housing project, and it comes down to helping someone find a job as well, does your program also entail transportation for them to go to the interviews, or lift programs, or cab services?
Yes, now that is a piece that I would like to fill, but at this moment I can only do limited transportation. I do have a company van, but naturally with the organization growing in this way, it would have to be a more concentrated effort. But yes, transportation is so important, and right now I do have limited transportation. But yes, ma'am, I do try to meet the need as much as I can as it stands right now.
So then you would benefit from having a company or a church maybe offer their vans service and times?
Absolutely. That would be a true blessing. Absolutely.
Excellent. Yes. Mm-hmm. So audience members, as you're hearing the service, we all have different needs within our community that grasp our heartstrings. And so if this is something that is of an interest to you, definitely reach out to us here at the show. And also, Kathy, if you could give them your contact information.
Sure. The number is 240-318-5770, and that's the office number. That's the actual census number. And I can also give you my cell phone number as well, and that is 301-481-6922.
Excellent. And we're going to close out with you, but you have a partner in the work that you're doing that's working with you, Miss Marvell Truesdale with Exit Landmark Realty, and we have her up next to talk to as well, and I'm going to let her let us know how you guys connected. But I want to say, I know this is not going to be the last time. We're actually going to have you in our studio for more in-depth interview, and where we can take some questions from the audience. So you guys out there, you stay tuned. Keep your ear to the ground, because we'll be announcing their next appearance. But by all means, reach out to Kathy. I can tell you from experience, she is responsive. I've actually referred 2 people to her.
Yes.
One gentleman actually toured the facility and was very pleased with what he found. I saw him the next day, and he had just a big smile on his face. He was like, oh, I met Miss Hines, and I talked to her. He said that was the best conversation I had, because he was looking for the same type of housing that she was offering. And so I'm telling you, your time would not be spent in vain reaching out to this resource, so that you have some place to direct people too.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, yes, ma'am, and we'll talk soon.
Looking forward to it, Kathy.
Ma'am. Thank you again.
All righty. Have a great afternoon.
You do the same. Thank you.
Now we're getting ready to go to Miss Marvell Truesdale. As I mentioned, she's a realtor with Exit Landmark Realty, and she's a partner working with Kathy. But she has quite a few things on the ball on her own. And so we're just delighted to have her. I'm going to bring her on, and she's going to be able to share with us and with you a little bit more about what she's doing in the field. And by the way, if you're watching right now, please hit the share button, hit the like button. Somebody else you know may need this information because it's important. And if they can't get it now, they'll be able to tune into it later. You can also find us on Real Estate Talk with Lisa, our Facebook page, and our YouTube channel has the same name,
yes, it does.
Real Estate Talk with Lisa. If you need to reach me, you can reach me on email at lisajeffrey38@gmail.com, or by phone 301-542-5168. And Reba, how can they reach you?
Well, my email is very simple. It's rebabarnes@aol.com. And my office number, I should say home office number, 301-420-0000.
I tell you, the musical number. So I'm going to bring Marvell on. Good afternoon, Marvell.
Good afternoon, Lisa. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
We just closed out with your partner in good works, Miss Kathy Hines, and she was sharing with us about Educare. And before I brought you on, I did share with the audience that you are a seasoned realtor. I think it's 15 years in the business. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And I told them that in addition to working with Kathy in that project, you have quite a few things on the ball yourself. So please share with the audience a little bit about yourself and maybe what started you with Educare, and then what you're doing in your realtor business.
Sure. Actually, I've been a realtor for over I would say close to 18 years.
Excellent. Hello, did we lose you?
I think so.
Marvell?
Okay. So we have to go back and get that straight then.
Yes, take it off as speaker. Let me see if I can pull her up again. Marvell? Okay, you guys know, even with all of our technology, there are challenges at times. So I'm going to ask her to give us a call back in to the station.
Again. The 301-429-9247.
All right, and we'll speak a little bit about some of the things that she's that we've been discussing, and we'll wait for her to give us a call back in. So she should be calling us back in shortly.
Well, I want to remind you, Lisa, you had a prayer for today.
Yes,
Might
yes,
be a
I
good
did.
time to go into that prayer. while
sure will.
While Marvell reconnects with us.
All right, excellent. Our prayer is going to be coming from one of our colleagues' publications, Prayers and Verses for Successful Real Estate Professionals. And the author of the book is Kanoe Reynolds with Goldston Real Estate. And I've read from her publication before. And, often our show is end user focused. It's focused on those that, use our services and our products, buyers, sellers, investors. But thank you. But in this case, this is a prayer for you. Marvell is back on, so I'm going to hold because she's just called back in. They just let me know, but we're going to come back and give you that because it's going to bless your hearts. Marvell, you back with us?
Yes, I'm back. I'm sorry. I must have been in a bad area.
Oh, that's quite all right. So go ahead and share with the audience. I know you just mentioned that you'd been in real estate about 18 years. So go ahead and continue to share with the audience.
Yes, thank you. Actually, I've been in real estate for over 18 years. I started off as a real estate assistant. After learning everything I learned from my mentor, I decided to get into real estate. One of my things that I really stress that I think a lot of buyers and sellers need to know is how to actually complete a transaction, I like to educate my individuals simply because this is a lot of legalities behind it. It's a personal experience, and I think that if you can make it a smooth and easy transaction for them, then it's a success for everyone, a win-win situation. In real estate, not only am I a realtor, but I also do staging. So one of the ways that I help my sellers prepare their house for sale is actually go in and help them move furniture, remove furniture, also stage furniture, so it shows in the best light possible.
That's a key thing right there, because oftentimes as realtors we may engage a staging company, but it's good that you're able to bring that value both from the realtor expertise and the staging piece, because all the statistics show that staged homes sell better. There's no doubt about that.
No, when you do
exactly. Not only does it shows better, but it also sell above sale price.
That's right.
Quicker sale as well.
That's right. That's right. Reba had a question for you.
Good afternoon to you, Marvell. When you do the staging, do you have things taken away from the house, or do you put them down in the basement? Do you have a whole thing cleaned out? What do you find for the best staging?
Were you able to hear her?
No, actually, I wasn't.
Okay, she was saying when you have staging done at a home, do you have them store some of the furniture in other places in the home, or do you have them remove it from the home and maybe put in a storage unit while you set it up for viewing by the prospective home buyers?
Well, it actually varies. If it's a cluttered house, we want to declutter the house.
Okay.
But we will save some pieces from the house. What I realize, a lot of times people have things in the house is just not properly placed in the right position. So if you can just move something, maybe from a living room to a dining room, it may show better. Not only that, the angle in which you actually place the item. I know you had Kathy Hines on with Educare Resource Center. I actually staged one of her properties, the one in Oxon Hill.
Oh, okay.
Come to find out, just the placement of the bed and the drawers that was in the property needed to be moved. So therefore, it made the property look much bigger. It made the space open. So you don't necessarily have to take the stuff out of the house. It's just what we can move to make it work for you.
And you make a good point, because I recently took a client to a property and we were looking at the bedroom, and the bedroom was not a bad sized bedroom, but the current owners had bought really oversized furniture for the room. So the bed was just massive and the dresser was massive. It was difficult to move around. And so the problem that presented was for the my client to really be able to see themselves in the space and really appreciate the space by itself, because for them the space felt probably extra small because of the size of the furniture.
Exactly. So like I said, a lot of times that furniture is personal, they don't want to throw it away.
Right.
We try to use it as much as I possibly can, simply because it has sentimental value. Some of the pieces are actually good pieces.
Right.
You have to get away. But it's just a matter of the placement in which you angle it and where you put it. Actually, I had a client that had a large piece of furniture that was in the living room.
Yes.
When she came home, I actually moved it to the kitchen.
Okay.
I never thought about using it for that. And I said, yeah, we're going to use it to put dishes on it. We made it like a buffet table. And it fit perfectly. And one thing I like to do with my staging, because I help individuals as well, they don't realize I'm going to come in and actually start moving things. And sometimes they're like, oh, wow, you actually doing the work? I'm like, yeah. I do the work because I know my eye and what I want it to look like. And not only that, if I'm going to list your property for sale, I want to make certain that it gets sold quicker. And if I can get you some extra money in your pocket, I would do that.
That's right. And I like what I'm hearing, because you are utilizing all of who you are in your realtor business. You're using that design sense that you've had, and you've gone forward to get the certification and the credentials for that, as well as mastering your realtor skills, so that all of who you are can be brought to bear for your client. And I think that is an excellent achievement. Now, I know that you work a little bit with Kathy with Educare. How did you come to work with her in that particular project?
Actually, a mutual friend of ours, Dr. James Dula, introduced
He's
me
everywhere.
and actually, once we met, we just clicked, and I really appreciate what she's doing in the community.
Yes.
Because this is unique. A lot of times I run across a lot of people that face homelessness, maybe had to have a short sale, they don't have any place to go, at all ages,
That's right.
And for me to be able to help them through Kathy, that's a blessing, simply because they will come to me as a realtor and say, hey, I need to find a rental. First thing I'm going to ask you is, okay, do you have the money? And a lot of times people don't have $2,400 or $3,600 to put down on a rental property.
That's right.
Not only that, we look for credit, and the credit is not the best credit, and sometimes they don't qualify simply because of that. They may have the money, but they don't have the credit.
That's correct.
So it's really nothing as a realtor I can do. My hands are tied, but at the same time, now I have another resource that I can help them with, and that's through Kathy, Educare Resource Center. Not only does she provide the transitional housing where we can have you there for 3 to 9 months, just to get you back on your feet, then get your credit straight or possibly save some money, because she do not require that you put down, say, $1,200. She'll work with you to help you better yourself until you can move forward. So I need to have people in that position to help me help my clients move forward. Because I can guarantee you that once they move into the transitional house, get themselves together, they're going to call me again. They're going to call and say, Marvell, I'm ready. And I want to be the one to help them move to something more permanent.
Excellent. That is marvelous, Marvell.
Marvell, you proven that you have a compassionate heart. Aside from arranging a room, you can arrange a person's mind to feel peace of mind.
That's right. That's right.
That's in Oxon Hill.
That's right. And that's one of the things that we talk about here on the show, and it's one of the reasons why we have such a diversity of topics, because we're building community. We talk to buyers, we talk to sellers, we talk to people that want to invest, but we also know that there's some of us that are homeowners or former homeowners, and we're in a transitional state. We know that some of us that have been renters may be going through a precarious position. So we are able to provide that information, and we're just so pleased to have you on our show. We are going to have you and Kathy back on here in the studio with us really soon, but we thank you so much for sharing with us your expertise, and also the benefits that you found Educare Resource to be just in your business as a real estate professional. Now, please share with the audience the best way that you would like for them to contact you.
Sure. You can contact me. I'm going to give you my direct number. It's 240-501-2030.
Okay.
Or you can reach me via email, which is my name, Marvell, Marvel, the realtor at gmail.com. And let me repeat that number one more time.
Okay.
240-501-2030. You can give me a call in regards to selling your property, buying a property, even if you just have a question. If you need to get started with getting the loan officer or checking your credit, I will gladly help you step by step. I do offer a free home buyer or seller consultation, so reach out to me, and I would be glad to help your audience, Lisa.
Excellent. Well, Marvell, thank you so much for joining Reba and I this afternoon on the show. Thank you for the information. Thank you for, again, showing our colleagues how Educare can be a resource for them, and also how you can be a resource as a realtor out here in the field. I want to thank you again, and enjoy your afternoon.
Well, thank you very much, and I thank you and Miss Reba. It was a pleasure, and you have a nice day.
Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, Reba.
That was good.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So, here you found out, how you can be rescued from, a housing situation that you may have found yourself in.
Or in the family.
Yes. Where maybe you'd like to take them in, they're working or they're a full-time student, but you just can't do it. You're already past the fire code,
But that peace of mind can give the family simply that.
Yes.
The child is old enough now to know how to have a job, how to find the job, and now to find a beautiful and decent home.
Right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, it's
While they
wonderful.
save for if they want to go and get
Yes.
like a full apartment, they're able to stay there and to save. So that is excellent, excellent. So I'm going to share. Our next guest is going to be Miss Wasita McKinley with Sisters United. We're going to talk about another type of rescue. But before we bring her on, we are going to proceed with the prayer that we were talking about. And you guys know I'm going to be taking my glasses off so they're better to see you with, right?
My dear.
So this is from page 23 of the book, and it's called So Much to Be Grateful For. And it opens with a song for Thanksgiving, Psalm 100, 1 through 5. Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come into his presence with singing. Know that the Lord, he is God. It is he who has made us, and we are his. We are his people, and the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving, and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him, bless his name, for the Lord is good. His steadfast love endures forever, and his faithfulness to all generations. Now, if you're like me, you're probably working while you listen to the show if you're tuning in live right now. So I'm not going to ask you to bow your head, but you can bow your heart.
Amen.
And we're just going to go over this prayer. And I want this to be your prayer because gratitude is what makes an attitude.
That's true.
I'm grateful for the people who come to me for advice and trust me. I'm grateful for being able to enjoy architecture at its best. I'm grateful for my customers who give me feedback to build a better company. I'm grateful for my prospects who ask smart questions to make me better. I'm grateful for being the best real estate professional in the business. I am grateful for my vendors and partners who help our company do things we couldn't do on our own. I'm grateful for my management team who leads the company through good times and bad. I am grateful for all of our employees who work hard every day to accomplish our mission. I am grateful for our advisors and investors who give me the guidance and the cash necessary to grow. I'm grateful for the print, broadcast, and social media for helping me to get the word out about what we do. I am grateful for my fellow colleagues who teach me through their experiences and insights. I'm grateful for my friends who understand the sacrifices I make with my time. I am grateful for my family who love me and support me unconditionally. I am grateful for God for guiding me on the right path today and every day. I am a grateful real estate industry professional. And I just wanted to acknowledge you all today and say that I'm grateful for you too. I'm grateful to be among you. I'm grateful to be able to share in this industry together and promote what you are doing. And we pray this prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, we're going to bring Wasita on. Just a moment. Good afternoon, Wasita.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello, my dear. Thank you so much for being patient with us.
How are you?
Oh, that's okay.
And we've got Reba here with us today. She's co-hosting with me.
Oh, wonderful. Hey, Reba.
How are you doing?
Excellent.
So we just spoke with Kathy Hines and Marvell Truesdale about the program that Kathy has with Educare Resources, providing some house share for people that find themselves in need of housing, don't have a deposit necessarily for an apartment or the income level for that yet, and providing safe, furnished housing with the utilities covered and such, and how that's a rescue for a lot of people's situations. But you and I know that Sisters United rescues people in another way, don't you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, we do.
So share with the audience who you are and what Sisters United is all about.
Okay, I am Wasita McKinley, the founder of Sisters United, and it's SISTAS United Inc. And we've been going strong through the grace of God for 20 plus years.
Yes.
And we service the Maryland, Virginia, and DC area. We offer two major things that are great resources for the community. One is the community food pantry,
yes,
where we give out not only staples, but we also give out fresh produce as well as meats, all free to the public. When you come to us, we just work from a humanitarian standpoint. If you need food, we give it to you. We don't require any ID, none of that bureaucracy or red tape. So if you are hungry and come to us, we make sure you are fed. The second service that we offer that's free and a valuable asset to the community is our TIE program. That's the Toddlers and Infant Exchange. What that does is provide anyone raising a child between the ages of newborn to 24 months. We provide things such as strollers, cribs, baby clothing, food, bottles, because we understand that the stipend that the government may give them, the WIC program, doesn't cover those things, and they basically just cover food. So we try to take care of the community from, I would say, the grassroots level, and also understanding that our babies, the first 6 months to the first year is the formidable years of a child's health. So we want to make sure that we're giving items that take care of them from a healthy standpoint early on in life. We have so many other programs out here, like STEM programs and stuff like that. All of that is great. I'm not overlooking that. But I try to get people to understand the basic needs of a person must be met before they can then get into elevating into different areas. And that's something that we do not look at, the basic needs of a person. They're quick to say, oh, go to a mentoring program, go through a rites of passage. But what about if they're hungry at home? What about if the babies don't have anything to eat? How can they successfully do any other program if their basic humanitarian, everyday living needs are not met?
Oh, you have said such a mouthful. Because that is true. You know, we just recently was with NABWIC, the National Association of Black Women in Construction, and they co-hosted with D-Dot Industry Day, which at Cardozo High School, which with their Trans STEM Academy, and it was good to see the end product of all of the efforts of parents and mentors and teachers. But you're right when you're talking about the basic needs. And it's so funny, I was just making notes the other day. A lot of people may not know who Maslow is, but Maslow is known when you're talking about human development, and he had a theory called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And so when you talk about what he calls self-actualization, it's normally depicted as a pyramid. And the self-actualization is like when you're planning your career, when you are creating poetry or artwork, or, you know, those higher level thinking and collaborative type things that you would do as an individual when you're self-aware and you're charting your destiny and following your dreams. But that's at the top of the pyramid. The things at the bottom have to be addressed first, and that's the physiological, food and shelter, safety. Then there's love and belonging and self-esteem. But the bottom and the largest part of that pyramid is food and shelter. And, you know, when we drive by people's houses, we don't know what's going on behind the door. It may look real pretty, you know, and they may have gone out and cut the grass, but there could be no food in the house.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that we stress. Don't judge because somebody pull up in a Benz or a Jaguar. We don't know what they're going through,
That's right.
So, we just take each case individually and address it as such. And one of the things that I want to point out is in the Maryland as well as in the D.C. area, there are growing pockets of food deserts. What that means is that people that live in certain areas don't even have decent grocery stores. And if they don't have the transportation to get to a decent grocery store, many of them now are resorting to actually grocery shopping at the Dollar Tree.
Yes.
And see, here we go. Nothing against it, because if that's all they can afford, that's what they can afford. You have to eat some kind of way. But when you go to places like Dollar Tree, 7-Eleven, CVS, really you're getting a lot of processed foods. You're getting a lot of high cholesterol foods. And many of our areas are already inflicted with social diseases that we know, such as I guess we would say high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes. And so grocery shopping at Dollar Tree only contributes to those type of diseases that are affecting our area. One of the things that Sisters United do, we strive very hard. When you come to our pantry, we don't like to really give out canned goods. We stress fresh produce, and we were blessed to be connected as a partner with Capital Area Food Bank and local farmers. That's exactly what we give you: fresh produce, bags of broccoli, containers of baby spinach. You get the zucchini, white potatoes, sweet potatoes. These are some of the things, onions. So we want you to be able to eat properly. And not only do we provide the food, Sisters United also has a cooking program, a 6-week cooking program where we let the community come in, and we have a chef and a nutritionist on hand, and for 6 weeks teaching you how to prepare this fresh produce that we're going to give you. And everything that we do is free.
And see, Wasita, just like I spoke with about the other guests earlier in the show, I can say the same thing about you. Oftentimes, you have, you may see a show, and they may have guests on, and the host may have no real knowledge about the guest or anything like that. But I do try to learn as much about my guests when they come on, and a lot of times I have firsthand knowledge. I can tell you, I was faced with a challenge with a family, friends of mine that had a food challenge, and I couldn't meet the need myself. And I was just talking to the Lord. I was like, and I called Reba, actually, because Reba had introduced me to Wasita, and I was like, we gotta get a hold of Wasita. Is she over there today? And I tell you, I thank the Lord for social media, because I got on, and Wasita was making a post right then.
At the moment.
And I sent her a text and said, I'm on the way. I got there, she was there. And she is exactly right. There wasn't a whole lot of, well, where you from? Well, how much you make? Well, she didn't even ask for their name. I mean, she asked for their name because that's just who she is. How you doing? My name is. But it wasn't any type of process in terms of getting the family what they needed. The food was laid out. She's not making it up. Fresh produce, no canned goods, healthy foods, and meat. Because a lot of times you'll go, if you do get meat, it's still highly processed because it's in a can. But I'm telling you, we left with, my car was full. The people were happy. They were thankful. There was no stigmatization about coming to get the resources. They didn't leave feeling like, oh, man, I'm glad they gave me the food, but man, I don't want to have to go there again. No, they left feeling uplifted and happy. And I actually
welcomed.
And that's what we need in our community. So you think about someone that may be at the Educare Resource Center at one of the homes, and they're managing the cost to be at the home, but maybe they need some food. They could call or go to Wasita Sisters United food pantry and have their need met. And that's how we bring that healing. That's how we rescue the members of our community that are falling through the cracks. Wasita, girl, you know, we love you over here. And we just appreciate so much what you're doing. We plan to have you in the studio again in a future day, you know, physically here with us. But I thank you for taking the time to call in and just to help us get the word out about the great things that Sisters United and yourself are doing.
Yeah, and can I just say something real quick, sister? I just want to put a plug out and shout out and get people to understand the grassroots effort. These are organizations on the ground that are really doing the work in the community, and we need the support of the community because most organizations are open 9 to 5. There's nothing for the community after 5 p.m., weekends or holidays. But the grassroots people, we're the brothers and sisters that have the organizations that don't get a dime, no grant at all. But we operate off of passion and our faith in God that we're able to do the things that we do for the community. So every chance I get, I put a shout out for grassroots organizations and letting the community know if y'all really want to see a change, invest in your grassroots organizations. Those are the ones that are your foot soldiers that's actually touching the people with no bureaucracy, no red tape, just working from passion any hour of the day, 365 days a year.
That's correct. That's correct.
One thing for
We
sure
had something.
was the fact that Lisa's show theme, Real Estate Talk with Lisa. I'm proud to be for her a research person for her for the show. But you've been a real joy. When I met you in person, when I met you just in passing, and through my other clients, through Derek Johnson, it's a wonderful interaction. And this show has evolved from not only finding homes and happy hearts, but also, like today, rescue resources. That's a joy. So we thank you for your time today. And tell us how to reach you for your contact information.
Yes, if you want to reach Sisters United, our website is www.sistersunited.net, N-E-T. And remember, Sisters is S-I-S-T-A-S. That's S-I-S-T-A-S. That's www.sistersunited.net, N-E-T. And if you want to call me directly, my number is 240-423-0958. That's 240-423-0958.
Oh, thank you so much. And like I said, we will be in touch. And I want to thank you again for all that you do and for your steadfastness over these 20 years, which has not been easy, not being federally funded, to keep the mission moving forward. We appreciate all that you do. And you have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you both for having me. God bless.
God bless you, too.
God bless you.
Peace.
So I tell you, we got some great things in our community, folks. We've got some resources. And if you're listening and you know of a resource in this area or another area that we didn't mention,
Call us.
Call Reba and let her know. 301-420-0000. You can call me too. I answer, but I'm just saying call Reba because Reba will help bridge the connection, get your information, and make sure that I get it in a timely fashion and move forward. And she makes sure I don't drop anything through the cracks.
And the emails as well.
Yes, go ahead.
Reba Barnes, RebaBarnes at AOL.com. And your email, Lisa?
Lisa Jeffery, Jeffery, the number 38 at gmail.com. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm also an active realtor here in the DMV. I'm with Fairfax Realty Elite. My office is in Greenbelt. Our main office for Fairfax Realty Elite. We have one there, and we have one in Georgetown. And my broker is Rodney Bennett. And if you have housing questions, you want to know, if you should sell your house, what you could get for your house, be happy to do a market snapshot for you. We've had a number of lenders on the show to talk about the ins and outs of getting qualified, the grant programs that are available. So we want you to know that you can use us as a resource, because as you see, if we don't have it, we will make an opportunity and make an effort to get you the information that you have. Now, as we're winding up, we do have a promo that I want to air for you. For 1441, the magazine.
Oh, yes.
So we're going to see if we can cue that up as we head out. We didn't even touch on another organization that we plan to have on called Roots of Mankind that can help you get qualified if you're doing one of the special programs in terms of getting qualified or certified for some of the grants. A lot of them you have to take a HUD certified housing counseling class. So we have this organization helps with that, but they also help you if you find out that you're going to be foreclosed on and help you review your options, whether you're trying to save your home or if you are going to just have to transition through that change. They give great advice. They've been doing that for years. And Mr. Ross Levin heads that organization up. Their website is under construction. They're making some changes to make it even more effective for you. But he is very eager to come on and talk to you about what can help you, because like we mentioned earlier, foreclosures are still on the rise in Maryland. If you're looking to buy, don't let that discourage you, because that's why we're here. We're to help you buy wisely, buy knowledgeably, buy within your means. But for those of you that may have those challenges, that's also why we're here, to help you navigate that process and to know what's available to you so that we can have America great again in our communities. Because there's a time when our communities were that was a refuge for you, and you had everything in your community, and it's still there. You know, the talents are there, the skills are there. So we have to learn how to support and rebuild our communities where we've been ravaged by the different things that have come through our culture and our society. So if we're ready to, can we air that clip from 1441, the promo? Let me know if we can bring that up.
Andre Gore's story. At age 14, he was incarcerated for truancy. Do you know what truancy is? Yep, not going to school. At age 14. And while in there, he learned to take drugs. He learned how to lie. He learned how to do all the things he didn't have to do, and it changed him for the worst. But he was just a child. As a result, he went in and out of prison until he was 41. He became a victim of modern-day slavery and was branded for life. That's what the system does to you. Until one day, he decided to remove the shackles of his mind and change his mindset. When he was leaving jail at 41, he didn't look back. He vowed to never go back. Today, Andre is a successful entrepreneur. He's also a motivational speaker with a conviction and drives to bring out the best in individuals. His unique approach has motivated many men, women, and teenagers to remove obstacles and move into their purpose with a can-do attitude. He's driven by an immense desire to help people believe in themselves through motivation. This was the impetus for the formation of 1441 magazine. You have a chance to break the cycle and take your life back with this breakthrough magazine that'll certainly change the way you think and will allow you to make positive lifestyle choices now. 1441 also offers mentorship, education, guidance, and counseling to people who have fallen victim to this system. Let's break that cycle and take your lives back with this breakthrough magazine. It'll certainly change the way you think and it'll allow you to make positive lifestyle choices. 1441 is a magazine that addresses our issues. You no longer have to become a victim of your past. Join us, subscribe, and volunteer. Visit our website, 1441magazine.com.
magazine,
Gorst.
and Mr. Andre Gore. I've been doing some work with him and his organization focused on returning citizens, which is another one of our housing issues. And he's going to be in the studio with us in an upcoming episode where we can talk about that and what's being done and have a number of voices, including his, talk about that. He's actually going to have a breakfast, a benefit breakfast for freedom in July. I'm going to have the flyer up on our page and the contact information for tickets for that event. So just want you to know that here at Real Estate Talk with Lisa, we are concerned about the community. Yes, we're concerned about buying and selling and investing in real estate, but also the greater picture of what those homes, because homes make communities. And so we're concerned about the end product as well. I also want to make you aware of the Anacostia International Assembly of God, sister church of Evangel Assembly of God. It's located at 1716 V Street in Washington, D.C. in Southeast. They are having an event called The Spot. And it's this Saturday between 12 and 3 p.m. They have all kinds of activities for the youth and the teens. Fun, food, music, stories, dance, step, creative arts. They'll also be giving away groceries. Okay, so we just talked about that. I know that area well because I lived there years ago. There's no major grocery store right in that little spot right there. There's one down the street, but I'm just saying, come on out and support them. They want to be a blessing to the community. They want to put some fun in the day. So please come out and just again. The location is the Anacostia International Assembly of God, and it's located at 1716 V Street, Southeast in Washington, D.C. I would encourage you to share this show. Share it. Ask your friends to share it, because sometimes your friends need some things they won't tell you because they know you have a certain opinion about them, and they may feel a little shamed because sometimes we have life events and we may feel ashamed, but there's no need to feel ashamed. Resources are available to you. You just have to step out and get them. Reva's had life events. I've had life events, and it was through the help of our friends.
Yes.
That showed us love and compassion that helped us do that. And you've heard the voices on the phone. These are people with love and compassion and resources to help rescue you out of your situation. We want to thank you again for tuning in. And we want to tell you next week we'll see you
at the show.
Yes, indeed. Have a great afternoon.
It's over.